How did that feel, that moment that they called your name, you had to get up and finally look Ghislaine in the eye?
It's something that I have worked very, very, very hard for the last 6 years. So that, I think my statement was about 4 or 5 minutes, was the fight that I have done, the highs, the lows, the litigation. It was all worth it just to have those 3 minutes looking at Ghislaine, saying what I needed to say to her.
Did you hope that maybe she would somehow, I don't know, respond, react, anything?
I was hoping that as a human being, she would have felt something. She would have at least acknowledged or looked, or but there was none of that. And that doesn't matter for me. The thing for me, the memory I'll take away from today that I will never forget until the rest of my, well, for the rest of my life, was hearing Ghislaine walk into court with the chains. And that was a very somber but liberating moment for me, because there's no more games. I just heard the clinking, clink, clink, clink of chains.
Yeah, that's real.
That's real, that's reality, and you know, that's, I'm disappointed. I don't feel that Ghislaine took accountability and responsibility really for the victims. I think that was her addressing the victims was a bit of a sham, saying I'm sorry. I have a particular issue with saying I'm sorry, because not at one point when I was being raped every single day, sometimes for 3 times a day, to 3 times a day, when Ghislaine herself, by her own hand, forced me into Jeffrey Epstein's room to be raped, did she say I'm sorry? I've spent the last 17 years trying to get some form of justice, trying to put together a life for myself. And I haven't been able to do that until today.
When you were wrapping up your comments, I mean, you tell it's heartfelt, these are words that you carefully crafted, but they're from the heart.
Yeah.
Do you feel your message was received?
I know Ghislaine knew exactly who I was when I was standing up, giving my statement. And although she didn't acknowledge me, she knew exactly my words before her. And addressing Ghislaine for the first time in 17 years is a moment I'll never forget, ever.
And you were 10 feet away from her. Was there?
And her family, you know, I found it very difficult with her whole entourage family being there, you know, especially after her very own family have victim shamed the victims and try to discredit them. And this has been a very complicated legal case, and I don't think any victim should ever have to go through what I've gone through, or what any Epstein survivor has gone through. It should never have been this hard.
It was like being victimized again and again after the fact.
Well, it's like being raped again by the system. That's exactly what it was. We were raped by Jeffrey and Ghislaine, and the system raped us again. And, you know, technically, if the FBI and the governmental institutions listened to Maria Farm in 1996, I wouldn't have been raped. Liz Stein, the other survivor, I was 10 years old when she was being trafficked. I was 10. I'm now 37. I was 10 when she was being raped. Now at 37, I'm turning 38 in August. Why has it taken this long to get one conviction? And who is responsible behind that? Who are the people covering for these traffickers? Because this was an international sex trafficking ring that trafficked hundreds of children and young women, into the thousands. One arrest is, I guess, I'll take the scraps that I'm given, if that's what you call it, if that's what you call justice, a bit of scraps like a dog. But, you know, I'll take whatever scraps of justice I can get. But this isn't justice today.
That was my next question. 20 years was maybe a skosh more than the expected, not an outrageous amount, and I think most of it, any add-on was because what you heard from Ghislaine was not remorse. It was not apology. It was more, hey, I'm a victim too, which I want to get into. But you think that the 20 years, not really justice?
I think Ghislaine got that amount of time because of her age. You know, let's not forget Ghislaine has turned 60, I think, on the 25th of December 2021. Ghislaine won't see sunshine again. She won't hear the laughter, thank God, of children, thank God. She'll never be able to walk in a field with flowers. She'll never be able to hear the sea again. She'll never be able to touch beach sand. So 20 years, Ghislaine won't last 20 years. You and I both know that. And I think the most difficult thing I've found more than anything, no matter what Ghislaine has done to me, I don't wish her harm, because I'm not like her. I don't want Ghislaine to be raped. I don't want Ghislaine to be hurt, because I'm not her. And I hope she finds some form of solace or comfort for her retirement years. Because I don't wish pain upon any other human being, no matter what they've done to me. And that's the difference between Ghislaine and I, because I can't hurt another human being. So it's sad, and it's really sad that she felt that I wasn't worth anything. And I'm sad that she'll never see the beach or the sea again because of her actions. And it's something I'll never be able to understand. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Take it home.
Thank you. Sorry.
No.
Sorry. Just tell me if I've got panda on
More
it.
questions.
Okay. Sorry, I'm so sorry. I'm really glad it's you. Thank you. Sorry.
Okay, just two more questions. One about Ghislaine's statement, because you're sitting there, as I'm sure most, not sure whether she's going to say anything or not. She doesn't have to. And all along in this process, she's been pretty closed-mouthed and defiant and pretty much annoyed with the system that is treating her so badly. Right? We've heard so many complaints about how she's being treated in jail, boo-boo. But made you think, well, she's probably got nothing to say. Just give me the sentence, let me get on with it. Were you surprised when she spoke?
I almost fell off the chair, actually. Liz and I looked at each other and we couldn't believe it. I'm still trying to make sense of it. But again, you can say as many sorries as you want. but I was raped because of you. I was degraded. I was humiliated. I was coerced. I was starved. Ghislaine, words fall on empty ears. I can say whatever words I want, but I've always been taught that actions speak louder than words.
And so she may have used the word sorry, but the way she phrased everything was very deliberate. You could tell.
Absolutely.
I acknowledge what everybody's been through. Jeffrey Epstein's a manipulator. I'm sorry for what you went through. Not I'm sorry for whatever role I played. I'm sorry that you had to go through this. It's almost like she wanted you to think, well, hey, I'm just a victim like you folks.
Yeah, well, I mean, of course. I mean, that's carefully crafted by her lawyers so she can have an appeal. So, I mean, that was strategic by her defense lawyers. I know that, you know that. Ghislaine has no remorse whatsoever. But, put on a little, I'm sorry for, that was for the next stage when they appeal. I think they thought her defense team, very clever by the way, very clever. If you do something wrong, you want to hire those guys. She had no remorse in her voice. Ghislaine has no soul. And you know yourself what I've been through trying to take her down. And the reason why I've had to go through that is because she's a dangerous human being. She will reoffend, and reoffend. These people never stop, ever. And I guess when I came out of court, I was so shell-shocked. I was being interviewed, and now, nah, that was a strategic move by her lawyers to gain sympathy. Ghislaine feels nothing for us.
I think if that was the plan, it sort of backfired, because I think the judge tacked on just a little bit.
Oh, absolutely. I have to say, I have the utmost respect for Judge Nathan, and she did pick up on that. And I think her comments afterwards, she picked up that Ghislaine has no remorse, not once, not once.
But if you're a sociopath, you would never even understand how what you're saying could possibly make your situation worse. You wouldn't comprehend that.
Well, I mean, a sociopath, psychopath doesn't rape thousands of young women and children. So, and teach a 14-year-old how to touch a middle-aged man's penis. So, and enjoyed it. So Ghislaine, as far as I'm concerned, has only one friend left, which is the one in prison that wrote that lovely note for her. And yeah, she can go make some new friends.
Let's talk about you real quick. Just one last question. What's now that this has lifted to whatever degree it can be lifted, what's the future?
So the future for me, as of today is groundbreaking for me because I've not been able to emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically been able to move on since today. And I'm actually going to be I'm going to be studying to learn how to coach other survivors. And I'm going to be doing some voluntary work with rape survivors, with a charity I've chosen to work with in my spare time, be a first responder for rape victims that email, phone, and I guess it's a bittersweet ending for me because I've gone through that. I've gone through something that I wouldn't even wish on Ghislaine. I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. And I hope that lessons have been learned, and I hope that I've gained enough experience where I can be there for any other woman, survivor. I really want to make it very clear, rape isn't just about women. It's gender neutral. It's class neutral. It's race neutral. Rape is rape, so I'm going to be dedicating my life to help those survivors.
That's very insightful and very generous.
Thank you.
Kind of turn this horrible number of events into something that might help somebody else.
Absolutely.
Good for you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.